Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Girl, pour the wine. No, not that glass, the big one. You are going to need it, and honestly, I need the entire bottle because my head is about to literally explode. You know how excited I've been about him finally moving here. How I've been counting down the days, planning the apartment decor, fantasizing about finally ending this 3.5-hour long-distance hellscape. Well, pause the celebration. Put the confetti back in the box. Because I'm starting to realize that he might be packing his bags, but he is absolutely not leaving his mother behind. I feel like I'm in a throuple, except nobody asked me if I wanted to date a 60-year-old woman, and I am definitely the side chick in this scenario. So, you know the drill. We've been together 4 years. It's been exhausting. And after what felt like a million difficult, tear-filled discussions, he finally agreed to move to my city. But the closer the move-in date gets, the more the terms and conditions are starting to look like a prenup with his mom. We come from an Asian background, right? So family is everything. Filial piety is baked into our DNA. I respect that. But what is happening here isn't just respecting your elders. It's enmeshment. It's emotional incest. It's insane. Let me start with the biggest bomb he dropped on me. We're sitting there, discussing logistics for the move, and he looks me dead in the eye and lays down the 1-week rule. I said, "The what?" He says, "Since I'm working remotely, I'm going to travel back to my hometown for 1 full week every single month to be with my parents." 1 full week every month. I did the math instantly. That is 25% of our life. That is 3 months out of the year where I am effectively single again. I looked at him and I said, "Babe, we are moving in together to start a life together. You're telling me that for a quarter of the time I'm going to be sleeping alone in our apartment while you play house with your parents." And you know what he said? He told me I needed to compromise. He had the audacity to say, "Well, you live near your parents and now I don't, so it's only fair." Fair? Girl, his parents are perfectly healthy. He's not going back to change IV drips. He just wants to be there. And when I told him I'd feel lonely, that I didn't sign up to be a part-time girlfriend, he shrugged it off. It's like my feelings don't even register. And if you think that's bad, it gets so much worse. It's not just about my feelings anymore. He's just made a decision that could ruin my entire future. But wait, it gets worse. You know how much I want kids. We have talked about this. I have names picked out. He never ever said he didn't want them until now. Suddenly the script has flipped. He sits me down and tells me he's decided against children. His reason? His father had nasopharyngeal carcinoma, which is awful. He says he's worried about the genetic risk, and at first I felt terrible. I felt like a monster for pushing it. But then I remembered something he blurted out a few weeks ago when his guard was down. We were talking about the future, and he muttered, almost to himself, that having kids would reduce his flexibility to visit his parents. Reduce his flexibility. Do you hear that? He is literally choosing his flexibility to be a son over his potential to be a father. He is using a medical excuse, which feels so manipulative, to cover up the real reason. He doesn't want anything, not even his own flesh and blood, to get in the way of him running home to mommy whenever she snaps her fingers. I don't want his parents to be the reason I die without ever holding my own baby. Can you imagine the resentment? 10 years from now, sitting in a silent house, knowing I gave up motherhood so he could go have tea with his mom 1 week a month. I'd resent him. I'd hate him. And honestly, looking back, the signs have been there the whole time. I was just too blind or too in love to see them. Remember the front seat incident? I told you about this, but I don't think I told you how bad it really was. So we're driving to pick up his parents. I have a migraine. Not just a headache, but a splitting, light-sensitive, nausea-inducing migraine. I'm in the passenger seat, eyes closed, just trying to survive the car ride. We pull up to their house, and before they even come out, he turns to me. He says, "Hey, can you move to the back seat?" I looked at him through one squinted eye, my head pounding, and asked why. "Because Mom prefers the front," he says. "She gets nauseous if she sits in the back." She gets nauseous? I already have a migraine. I am the one currently suffering. But in his world, his mother's preference, her potential, hypothetical discomfort, trumps my actual physical pain. He made me get out of the car, stand on the curb with my head exploding, and climb into the back seat like a naughty child so his mother could ride shotgun in her rightful throne next to her son. I sat back there in the dark, trying not to vomit while they chatted away in the front. I felt so small, so insignificant. It's this constant double standard that's driving me crazy. When he stays with me, he calls his mom every single day. He gives her a full daily briefing like she's the CEO of his life. But when he goes back to his hometown to visit them, I am lucky if I get one phone call a week. I'm staring at my phone, waiting for a text and nothing. When I confront him, he says, "I'm just enjoying time with family." Excuse me, am I not family? It makes me feel so disposable, like I'm a placeholder until he goes back to the mothership. And then there was the vacation. God, this one hurts to even say out loud. We were away on a trip supposed to be romantic, just the two of us. One night I had this wave of anxiety. I felt scared and uncomfortable. You know how I get sometimes. I just needed him. I told him, "Please just stay with me. I don't want to be alone right now." He promised. He did the whole "I'm here, I've got you" routine. I fell asleep eventually. But when I woke up in the morning, the bed was cold. He was gone. My heart started racing immediately. I get up, walk out of the room, and where is he? He's on the balcony, on the phone, with her. He left me alone in the room, knowing I was feeling vulnerable and scared because what? She called. He prioritized a routine phone call over my direct plea for comfort. He literally walked away from me in a moment of need to go serve his emotional master. I feel like I am dating a man who is already married. He is married to his mother's needs, her comfort, her whims. And I'm the mistress he visits when he has free time. Imagine our wedding day. Is he going to pause the vows to take her call? Is she going to be in the delivery room? Oh, wait, there won't be a delivery room because he canceled our future children to keep his schedule open for her. I feel like the other woman in my own relationship. How do I even fix this? How do I get a 32-year-old man to cut the umbilical cord without him turning around and accusing me of trying to destroy his family? I don't know if I can do this. The move is happening. The boxes are packed. But I feel like he's moving his body to my city while leaving his heart and his spine back home with her. Am I crazy? Please tell me I'm not crazy. Because right now, the idea of living with him and watching him pack a bag every month to go home, implying that I am not his home, makes me want to scream. I don't want to be the third wheel for the rest of my life. I deserve the front seat, don't I? He pour more wine. I need to figure out how to say all of this to him without smashing a plate. Or maybe I should smash a plate. Maybe then he'd actually look at me instead of his phone. What do you think? Is this doomed? Be honest.